You see, now you are telling us some of the skills that you have technically that are in line with the position you are applying. You want to become a computer operator. So there's nothing wrong if you now tell us that, okay, CEO, I know I'm very good in this, I'm good in this. I'm also good in the hardware part of the computer. Are you seeing it? You are telling us everything you are good at that are in line with the job. I told you that a rich CV is a CV that is somebody, you write everything in line with the position you are applying for. So this one is rich. Then this is what we call technical skills. Then there's what we call interpersonal skills. Interpersonal skills are skills like ability to relate with people freely, ability to meet deadline, ability to work under pressure, ability to, those abilities, ability to work under pressure, ability to meet deadlines, ability to communicate effectively. All these things, they form what we call key skills. That means that if these things are your skills, you have to write them here. On no account should you write them if you don't have them as skill. Somebody wrote sometime that he is he wrote under his key skill that he's an expert when it comes to pressure. Let me even put it exactly for you the way the guy put it. The guy said under his key skill, he wrote ability to work under intense pressure. When the organization saw intense pressure, they say, wow, our job, there's so much pressure. And we used to take our staff for training on how to work on pressure, intense pressure. Now this person see he has what? He has the ability to work under intense pressure. That means we don't even need to take him for any training. In fact, we can even use him to train our staff. So it's an advantage for us. So they called this man for interview mainly because of that thing he wrote, that he has the ability to work under intense pressure. And they say, wow, this is very, very interesting. So when the man came for interview, they sat the man down like this, and they brought 3 people. It's like a bank job. They now said, okay, you are the customer care personnel. These 3 men want to open an account, and we don't want to lose any of them. So 1, 2, 3, tape rolling, action, and 3 of them now came. Please, I'm going somewhere, open my account for me. This one, I'm going to open my account. And the guy was like, they should take it easy with him one after the other. And they caught the whole thing. They said, this is not intense pressure. He's already complaining that they are rushing him. They should come one after the other. And they say in our organization, there is so much pressure. This one we put you is not even pressure. We just want to see if you really have the ability. So why am I saying this? Young people like to write skills that they don't have. They'll copy. They don't copy CV. Please listen carefully. Don't copy CV because CV is about you. How can you copy something about somebody that is you? Somebody that wrote that he has the ability to work with people effectively, maybe he knows how to interact with people freely. You don't know how to interact with people. And you now wrote ability to interact with people, and then I gave you the job. And now you don't know how to interact with people. You are not on your own, but you wrote ability to interact with people. Now, let me tell you, some of these skills, they learn them. Like ability to work in a tense environment. You think it's easy to work with angry and annoying people? People go for training on how to work with angry people. In our customer care training in Exford Global, we teach you about how to relate with angry customers. This is to tell you that it is a skill to learn. All right, so now the next thing we are going to talk about now is the one we call professional certifications. Professional certifications. Now, professional certifications, this is where the certificates you get from organizations like Exford Global you put. So if you are done with Exford Global and you have your certificate, you can come here and write certified health and safety personnel. Are you seeing what I'm writing? Certified health and safety personnel from Exford Global Consult Limited, Abuja. You are seeing, then you now write duration, the year you did their training. Now listen carefully, listen carefully. Even though you have gone to Exford Global and collected 4 certificates, there are jobs that will not require you to put those 4 certificates. Listen carefully. Some people will say, but I have 4 of them, I have to put all. Listen, if you are applying to become a human resource personnel in an organization, position, they say vacancy, we are looking for a human resource personnel, and you apply for human resource personnel, you don't need to flaunt 4 of these CVs. 4 of these certificates. You are looking for a job now. Make your CV rich. Write number 1, certified human resource personnel from Exford Global. Even if you do not put HSC, no problem. It doesn't mean that you don't have it. It simply means that you understand how to write CV. You are giving them what they want to hear. That's how they do CV. Because if they see all this meaning, they say, what's the meaning of this one? This one wants to tell us that it has HSC. What are we doing with HSC here? Are you seeing it? But there are organizations that need HSC, that you need to put HSC as number one. This is how we train our people here, so that they don't end up and write 20 pages CV, and at the end of the day, they will just throw their CV away that it doesn't make sense. Because it's not everything that you must write. You write only the things that are in line with the job you're applying. So after that, you write certified project manager of management, certified project manager. You got that one from Exford Global Consult Limited. Then you write the year again. Assuming you are applying to work as what? A construction. You are assuming you want to work in a construction firm as a construction manager, as a project supervisor, as a project manager. Then you make your project management certificate you have number one. Hope you are following. You see how we are making CVs rich. This is how we make CV rich. Then we have another one they call professional membership. Professional membership. Now, professional membership is where, let's assume you belong to a professional association now, and you are a member or you are a fellow. Then you now come here and say, member, comma, you now tell us the professional organization that you belong to. You now tell us that member, let me give you an example, Project Management Association of Nigeria. Are you seeing it? You are telling us now that you are a member of this association. So if we go to the database of the Association of Project Managers in Nigeria, we should see your name under members. So if it mustn't be project management, I'm just giving an example. You pick your own association and you write. Then for those of you that have collected your NYC certificate, or those of you that are intending to collect your NYC certificate, the NYC certificate now, NYC sees their certificate as a professional certificate. So since NYC sees their certificate as a professional certificate, that means you're going to include it where you put Exford Global under professional certification. That's where you put NYSC, right? National Youth Service Corps of Nigeria. As in, this is where NYC want to see that, yes, we too, we are a professional body. All right, the next one is what they call the next one I want to talk about is for people who want to apply for the jobs of lecturing. If you want to lecture in the university, there are certain things you put in your CV that somebody who wants to work in the bank should not put. For example, you write conferences attended and participated. Conferences attended and the ones you participated, you write them together. Now, if you want to be a lecturer in a university, polytechnic, college of education, these conferences you attended are important to them. They want to see conferences you attended and you participated. They want to see papers you've published. In fact, after certificate attended and participated, the next one is papers published and books authored or books co-authored. So after conferences attended, the next one you write is what? Papers published and books authored or co-authored. This is very important to the educational sector. Why? Because they want to be sure that you that want to impact knowledge on people, you are somebody that has done enough research. For you to publish a book, that means you must do a lot of research. And anybody that will teach people need to do a lot of research because you need to go and gather knowledge before you can share with people. That's why they always want this kind of thing in the university. Now, if somebody is applying to work with FRS, does he need to put this? No. If you're applying to work with NMPC will not see books you have written as anything, except if you want to work in the research department in NMPC. Now, in the research department, you can now bring papers you have published. You see what I told you earlier? I said the position you are applying for in an organization is what determines what you put in your CV. That means what you put in your CV is not the issue. It is the position you are applying for in that organization that determines what you put in your CV. All right, so that being said, the next thing now we have here now is what we call voluntary services. Now, listen carefully. Voluntary services, you only put it if you have it. Some people will write voluntary services, then they will leave it empty because they don't have any service they volunteered. If you are a copper, for example, coppers go for what they call CDS. Their CDS days. Some of them belong to group. They belong to Red Cross. Some of them belong to road safety. And now, let's assume you belong to Red Cross and your group go to a village and they dig a borehole. If they dig a borehole and you participated in that digging of borehole in that village, automatically now you have voluntary services. Now let me shock you. It's not all organizations you are applying for that voluntary services, even if they captivate them. If you are applying to work with an NGO, or you are applying to work with a charity organization, and you tell them of the voluntary services you've done, it's a point for you. For NGOs and what? Charity organization. The voluntary services you've done is an advantage for you. But there are organizations where voluntary services may not really be much advantage to you because it doesn't make much interest to them whether you volunteer or not. That's not their concern. Now the next one is reward and award. Reward and award. You see what we are doing here? We are teaching you how to make your CV rich. We are not jumping anything. We are making sure that everything you capture, the one that is not needed, you remove it. Now, reward and award, you don't write reward and award and leave it empty. Some people who write CV, they write reward and award, but they don't have any award, so they leave it empty. No, you're not selling yourself well. You sell yourself well when you actually write reward and award. Then you bring those rewards that you have that are in line with the job you're applying. That means that you cannot even bring awards that are outside the job you're applying. For example, they gave you an award as the best dancer in your university days. You can't bring that when you are coming to apply to become what? Maybe the receptionist, or you're coming to be an accountant. Accountant and dancing and singing, it doesn't make any sense. But if you collected an award while you're in university as the best accountant of the department for a particular year, now you're applying to be for the position of an accountant in an organization, you can bring that award. Are you seeing it? That award is in line with that position. So that's why I told you earlier that every job you are applying for, what you have that you put must be in line with the position you are applying for. If they gave you an award as the best cook, but what you are applying for now is a runway model. There are people that apply for runway model. If you want to be a runway model, you write your CV and submit. If you tell them that you want best cook, it doesn't mean anything. Or you tell them that you must bring those ones that are in line with your own kind of job. So that's how we write reward and award. Then another important one is hobbies. Hobbies. As simple as hobby looks, hobby is very interesting. Some people have gotten job because of hobby. Others have lost job because of hobby. Somebody applied in an organization as a receptionist. Then the lady wrote that her hobby is sleeping and traveling. Then she's applying for the position of a receptionist. When the organization saw it, they say, no, this person has already told us from day one that she loves to sleep and she loves to travel. You know, hobby is something that you love to do. That means if somebody tells you that his hobby is sleeping and traveling, and you go ahead and give the person the job, if the person sleeps on duty, you cannot penalize the person. The person can even drag you to court because he already told you that, see, my hobby is this, I can sleep anywhere. So why we are saying this is that even if your sleeping is your hobby, there are certain places you write it, and there are certain places you don't write it. We have people with funny hobbies. Some people, their hobby, most ladies, if you listen to their hobby, you will laugh. Some ladies, their hobby is singing in the bedroom, dancing in the kitchen. Some kind of funny hobbies. There's nothing really wrong with those hobbies, but make sure you write those hobbies in line with the job that you are applying. Let me give you an example. Now, the sleeping and traveling, we said, you know the organization that are looking for it? If you want to become a tour guide, you know who we call a tour guide? A tour guide is somebody that sees people through or guide them if they go for a tour. Do you understand? Those guys, if they say their hobby is sleeping and traveling, is okay. Anybody that travels a lot, sleep too. Are you seeing that the hobby is in line with the job? So everything you write must be in line with the job. So don't say, but true, I love to dance. Excuse me, you want to be an accountant and you'll be dancing in the office. You see, it's not making sense. That's why some organizations will tell you, we'll get back to you, and they'll not get back to you. Because when they are going to decide, this lady already told us she's a dancer, so that she'll not come and seduce all the men here for us. She has told us she loves shake. Do you understand? So this is not what we want, so you end up not calling her back. So make sure you write those hobbies that are in line with the job. Then the other one we have here is referee. Now, referee is very important. Very important. Most of those dream jobs you're aiming for, the central bank job, FRS job, NNPC job, oil company job, all those jobs you are aiming for, their interest usually goes to referee. Why? They are looking for a referee that can vouch for you. They want a referee that has something to lose in the society. So if you apply to work in Federal Inland Revenue, where they will pay you 350,000 a month, you think you come and bring for them one referee as a boy that has a boutique somewhere, they will not take you serious. They want somebody that has a stake in the society to lose, so that if anything goes wrong, this person can shorty you. Now, somebody who has something to lose in the society cannot shorty somebody he does not trust. He cannot shorty somebody he cannot stand for. For example, if you say your referee is a former vice chancellor, the organization will say that's very good. Or in Nigeria now, you say your referee is one renowned pastor. Maybe you say your referee is Pastor E.A. Adeboye, and you put his number and they can call him and confirm that's a very renowned pastor. Or you say he's a renowned imam. Fine, the person has something to lose in the society. So now let me tell you something. Most young people find it difficult to get this kind of caliber of referee. Do you know why? During their days of school, they didn't know how to mingle. When they graduated and went for their service, they didn't still know how to mingle. They will go for CDS, they didn't know how to mingle. They come out and still they don't have any referee that can vouch for them. Since when you're writing referee, you cannot write your father. Because if they call your father, they ask you, what relationship do you have with John Peter? You say, John Peter is my son. Cancel. They can't give you because you must say good about your son. He's my nephew. Cancel. She's my niece. Cancel. Now, what do you do when you mingle with friends? Since your father cannot be your referee, we have good friends. Your father can be my referee. My father can be your referee when we become good friends. Simple thing, but young people don't do because they don't know how to make friends. That's why when they come here in our training center, apart from the education we give them, we also teach them how to make friends because it will still help you in issues like this. If your father is a retired army general and my father is a retired professor from the university, I can't use my father, you can't use your father. We make friends, you use my father, use your father, now we are good to go. So that is referee. Now, some people will say, how many referees do they want? Most organizations, at least 2 referees. Now, when you write referee, you write their name, you write their position, you write their phone number. You write the second one, you write his name, you write his position. The position means what he does or who he is in the society, then you write his number. Then some people will say, okay, if I don't have this kind of people, what do I do? If you don't have them, listen, if you don't have them, I didn't say you must have a vice chancellor. I didn't say you must have Pastor E. Adeboye or maybe the Archbishop of Nigeria. No, I simply said you need people of caliber. You need people that can vouch for you. You need people that when the organization calls, they say, okay, good afternoon, sir. Are we speaking to Dr. Peters? You say, yes. Please, we have with us here Kaite Hassan, and she has used you as her number 1 referee. Please, what is the recommendation about her? And the man says, well, you can give her the job anyway. She's my daughter's friend. Any referee that talks to your employers about you like this, the organization cannot give you that job. What the organization wants to hear is a referee they will call. They say, yes, are we speaking to Dr. Peter? I say, yes. Please, we have Ekaite Hassan here. Do you know her? I say, which one is that? This is the one that, yes, I know her. Please, we are considering giving her a job. She just used you as number 1 referee. What can you say about her? I say that, she's a very, very good lady. She's hardworking, industrious. You will not regret giving her this job. I vouch for her. This is what organizations are. This is what organizations want to hear. So the big question is this. Do you have anybody that can vouch for you this way? Welcome to our cover letter session. Now, for cover letter is written, or organizations ask you to present a cover letter when they are expecting a plenty CV. There are organizations that are recruiting that they know they're expecting a lot of people to apply. Just take, for example, now if Central Bank of Nigeria or the Central Bank of your country is recruiting, you know that there will be mass application, there will be mass submission of CV, so the organization will ask, attach your cover letter. Cover letter is 1 page. Cover letter should not be more than 3 lines. Once you write cover letter 2 pages, nobody has time to read that again because the essence of the cover letter is something we can just look at a glimpse. If the thing interests us, what do? We can now we'll go for your CV or call you. Now, so let me show you what to do for a cover letter. When you're writing a cover letter, just like the way you write formal letter, you write your own address here. You know how you write formal letter now? You write your own address here. You write the organization that you're applying for. Their own address will be here. Your own address is here, right? Then you now write, dear sir. Now, dear sir means both dear sir, dear man, in the official writing of this. Dear sir, dear man, it actually means the same thing. All right, so you now say, dear sir, listen, you don't say application for the post of. The moment you put application for the post of, it is no longer a CV, a cover letter. It now becomes an application letter. Remember, you're not writing application letter, you're writing cover letter. So what do? No need of dear sir, any head. You just go straight. Dear sir, do you remember what we said in our CV session? We talked about professional profile, where you say, I am a second-class upper degree graduate of economics, or I am an economics graduate seeking to work with a fast-growing firm, where I intend to contribute my wealth of experience, right, to help the organization achieve its mission and vision. Yours faithfully, you write your name and you sign, that's all. So what do? Let me teach you what to do. Once you write dear sir, you have already written that in your CV. Most of us are using the computer, so you just do Control C. Control C is what? Copy. When you copy, you just come to this page and come and paste it. Now, remember that what you are copying must be in line with that organization. That means that if you have written private firm, it's that of the private firm you are bringing here, because it's that organization you wrote that CV for. So you now come here and paste it here. Once you paste it here, so it will be ending as where I intend to help the organization achieve their goals and objectives. Then you now write yours faithfully, Basi Hassan. You can now sign. Do you see that this cover letter is straight to the point? Now, the moment cover letter is not straight to the point, I said it earlier, nobody has time again for it. Some cover letters say shouldn't be more than 3 lines. Just, I am a graduate of biology, and I seek to work with write them of the organization where I would help the organization achieve this and this. Yours faithfully. The organization just want to see what you will help them do in your cover letter. I hope you understand. Even if you don't write anything in cover letter, make sure you write what you want to do to help the organization. I have the skill of CorelDRAW. I have the skill of MS-DOS. I have the skill of this. I have the skill of editing. I have the skill of this. And this organization is into editing. So I intend to carry this skill of editing to help this organization do the editing work. That's a very beautiful cover letter. Yours faithfully, you write your name. And that's all. No long story. See, I did not start preaching that I am the second born of my family. I am from Ogoni. I am from this one. No, I didn't say all those stories. It's not important because cover letter is summary, straight to the point, but you tell the organization what you want to do for them. Once you do that, you have a beautiful cover letter. Remember that it is your cover letter that they will use to assess if they will read your CV. So if this cover letter is not interesting, forget about that CV you have written. And I've told you what makes a cover letter interesting. What you have, the skill you have that you want to come and give us. Or if you don't have, you want to come and learn and then give back everything we have taught you to the organization so that we can achieve our goal and mission. This is the key word they are looking for in cover letter. Once they are missing, that cover letter is empty. They will say, push this one aside, it's not a cover letter. You cannot tell us what you have, and you cannot tell us how you intend to use what you have to help us. So why do we need you? Anybody who is applying for a job, is it not the organization that needs something and they want you to come and do something, right? So that they will pay you. That's the essence. So you can't come to them and now say, I am the third child. No story here. Straight to the point. Application letter, you can write story, first paragraph. Dear sir, I hope you are fine. Did you see us saying I hope you are fine? Dear sir, I am a second-class upper degree graduate. Straight. Because we call it cover letter. They call it cover letter. You put it in the front of your CV and attach it to your CV. So when they pick your cover letter, they say, wow, this cover letter, this guy has all these skills and you help us achieve this one. Okay, it makes sense. Then they can now open your CV and start going through your CV because your cover letter is telling them that this person has what we are looking for. So this is what we discuss in cover letter. So thank you very much.